The Florida Gator men's basketball team gets its season underway in just 2 weeks. Hi, welcome back to sports. I'm Ethan Curtis. With 2 5-star recruits, 3 returning starters, and the nation's top grad transfer, Mike White and his squad are set up to have a big season. With the official preseason AP poll coming out yesterday, the Gators were ranked 6th in the country. Florida didn't even crack the top 25 at any point a season ago. The Gators are the second highest ranked SEC team, with Kentucky sitting at number 2. Here's a look at how the rest of the top 10 shakes out. Michigan State claims the top spot, followed by Kentucky, Kansas, Duke, and Louisville. Just behind the Gators are Maryland, Gonzaga, North Carolina, and Villanova. Florida plays in an exhibition game against Lynn University October 29th in the O'Connell Center. The Florida Gator football team will have a bye week this weekend ahead of their matchup with Georgia after defeating South Carolina on the road this weekend. The Gators will look to have their defensive backs to full strength. Pass rushers Jonathan Grenard and Jabari Zuniga were both sidelined last week after getting injured in the game against LSU. Even so, the Gators were still able to record 3 sacks last week and sit second in the country with 29. Getting Grenard and Zuniga back could be especially important against a Georgia team that has allowed the 3rd fewest sacks in the country with just 4. With the Gators heading into the bye week, linebacker David Reese stresses the importance of getting healthy ahead of this stretch of SEC East matchups.
Practice unbelievably hard and, with great focus. And like you said, hopefully we get our main key guys back and hopefully we're at full strength by that time. So this is a great time to rest and, look at the game plan.
And it looks like that will be the case. According to Dan Mullen on SEC This Morning's podcast, he expects Grenard, Zuniga, and Kadarius Toney to be back for the Georgia game. The Gators will take on the Bulldogs November 2nd at 3:30 in Jacksonville. Tonight is Game 1 of the Fall Classic. This year's World Series matchup will feature the Washington Nationals and the Houston Astros. Washington is making its first ever World Series appearance, while the Astros look to win their 2nd title in 3 years. Starting pitching could be the difference maker in this series, as each team has a 3-headed monster it will deploy. On the mound for the Astros is AL Cy Young candidate Garrett Cole, who has been red hot this postseason. In his 3 starts in October, Cole has posted a .4 ERA with 32 strikeouts in under 23 innings of work. Taking the hill for the Nationals is a Cy Young candidate of their own. Max Scherzer gets the start, as he's had a dominant postseason as well. In just 20 innings pitched, Scherzer has a 1.8 ERA with 27 strikeouts. Star-studded pitching matchups continue into Game 2 as Justin Verlander faces off against Steven Strasburg. Game 3 will feature Zach Greinke for the Astros, as the Nationals have yet to name a Game 3 starter when this series shifts to Washington. First pitch is set for 8:08 tonight. After a wild offseason, the NBA season is finally here and tips off tonight. The first game of the night features the defending NBA champion Toronto Raptors, who are now without Kawhi Leonard, hosting the New Orleans Pelicans. Just a reminder, the Pelicans are without first overall pick Zion Williamson, who is sidelined 6 to 8 weeks with a knee injury. Tip-off is set for 8 o'clock. In the later window, it's a battle for Los Angeles as the Clippers take on the Lakers. The Clippers made some big moves that landed them Leonard and Paul George. Anthony Davis will play his first game for the Lakers as LeBron James looks to get his team back to title contention. That game tips off at 10:30.
Ethan, thank you. Now, if you're ready for a fun night out, the Greater Alachua County Fair is kicking off on Friday night.
Get ready for funnel cakes and fried everything for the fall. The family-friendly event kicks off with rides, food, entertainment, and face painting fun. Mega passes can be bought online through the Alachua Fair website, which comes with free admission. They are available only until this Friday night. Marketing representative Miriam White says this is an affordable way for locals to have fun.
It is not too expensive. We know students always live on a budget, so you can make it as expensive as you want and to have fun. You get a wristband, you get on the rides, and you have fun.
The fair will run through November 2nd.
Now, before we go, let's take one last check on the weather.
I did want to wait till the last moment to show the highest temperatures today recorded at around 4 o'clock. 88 here in Gainesville. The record was set in 2006 at 90 degrees at the Gainesville Regional Airport. But that will quickly change this evening as that cold front passes through. You can see temperatures changing at around 5 p.m. into the 6 p.m. hour. We're already into the lower 70s. And then in the overnight hours, we'll be cooling off into the 50s for most areas, cooling down to around 53 in Lake City, around 53 in Gainesville, and the lower 60s for Palatka Rebecca and Ocala. But that won't last for too long. Like I said, those cooler and drier conditions will only be sticking around for Wednesday as moisture comes back from the Gulf and builds ahead of our next cold front. I'll leave you with our 6-day forecast showing the temperatures as we head into the weekend. Back to you.
Thanks, Nicolette. BBC World News is up next, and the PBS NewsHour is coming up at 7.
Our news team will bring you another show tomorrow at 5, but your Florida news is always on at WUFT.org. Have a great night.